this video, we're going to be looking at some basic motor fundamentals that are involved in folk dance footwork. We're going to look at the notions of weight, stepping, walking, marching, leaping, prancing, and we'll learn how to distinguish among those things. An important concept that underlies all of these things is the notion of weight. Weight refers to the contact of the foot with the floor while that foot is supporting the body. So that particular foot is taking the weight. This allows us to define what a step is. A step is a transfer of weight from one foot to the other, more particularly where there's a very brief time when your weight is evenly divided between your 2 feet before the full transfer of weight occurs. So you start with your weight on your left foot, for example. You put your right foot down, and then you transfer weight onto the right foot before lifting up on the left. Let's watch Nancy take 2 steps in slow motion. You'll see she steps forward on her right foot, but her left foot is still on the ground. She transfers weight to that right foot and lifts up the left behind. Then she steps forward on the left foot, transferring the weight onto the left foot before lifting up on the right. Now that we know what a step is, we can talk about what walking is. Walking is a series of steps. Here we see Nancy walking around in a circle. Marching is a specialized kind of walking step. It's one where you lift your leading leg's knee high up before you step onto it. First, let's look at it in slow motion. Nancy's going to lift her foot up, raising her knee before she puts it forward to change the weight. The weight is on both feet briefly as she lifts the other foot up, again with the knee high, before putting it down and changing weight again. Here's the march at full speed. The easiest way to understand what a leap is to contrast it to a step. Both of these pieces of footwork involve a transfer of weight from one foot to the other. But whereas in a step, there's a brief period of time when your weight is distributed equally between your 2 feet, in a leap, there's a brief period of time where neither foot is on the floor bearing weight. In other words, you have a little bit of air time in the middle. Let's watch Nancy do this in slow motion. She's going to reach forward with her left foot. She's going to come up in the air so that her weight is on neither foot before she lands on that left. Then she reaches forward with her right foot, and again, there's a brief period of time where weight is on neither foot before she lands on the right. Here we see one more leap. She's going to reach forward with the left, comes up, weight on neither foot, and lands on the left. Recall that walking is a series of steps in a row. Running, by contrast, is a series of leaps in a row. Here's Nancy running, doing a series of leaps in a row. Prancing is a specialized kind of running step. It's where you lift your knee high before you leap onto your leading foot. Prancing is to running what marching is to walking. Here's a video of Nancy prancing. Let's review the ideas we've covered in this video. We started off by looking at the fundamental notion of weight, which is the contact of the foot with the floor while that foot is supporting the body. Next, we looked at the notion of stepping, which is the transferring of weight from one foot to the other, where there's a very brief time where your weight is evenly divided between the 2 feet before the full transfer of weight occurs. This contrasts with leaping, where the transfer of weight has a little bit of air time in the middle, where your weight is not on the ground at all. Walking is a series of steps in a row. Running is a series of leaps in a row. Marching is a specialized kind of walk where you raise your knees, and prancing is a specialized kind of running where you raise your knees. This concludes our introduction to some of the major types of motor actions that occur in folk dancing.